Alrighty guys, welcome back to our another League of Legends stream. It is our final week of play here in NECC before playoffs begin, and our league team's still fighting for their chance to earn themselves a playoff spot. So it's going to be exciting to see if they're able to pull that off. Give me just a moment here. Have to, for some reason the screen capture isn't working. Draft has started. Let me see if I can fix this. We'll go and just set it to this. That's good enough for now. Something happened to my screen capture. But anywho, draft has begun. He's going to get a Jarvan and Kleb band to initiate us. Mel and Leona also taken off the board. Yotes are taking their time with their final ban, but eventually settle on Shin out of Mr. Gold's champion pool. In Tarleton, they're going to eliminate another top lane, it seems. So go ahead and take Gwen. All right, let's see what our first picks are going to be for both these teams. Yote's going to open us up with an Orianna pick, which actually eliminates one champion from the pool of Gimmick. Also worth noting, this is one of the first times I think we've gone into a week and we haven't seen Swain banned. So it's going to be interesting to see if Gimmick looks to match with that. But it seems like he has a better idea for what to pick into Orianna, and that's going to be the Victor. Tarleton, we're really taking their time when thinking about what to lock in here. And it's going to be Dr. Mundo, likely for Big China in the jungle. We've seen him play this champion on a few separate occasions. And they're going to go ahead and run it back for game number 1 here. In the meantime, the Yotes might just be looking to round out their bot lane. So we get a Smoldered pick. Just one of those super hard scaling ADCs. Tailored for the late game. They're not going to fully round out their bot lane just yet, it seems. They're going to go ahead and pick Wukong as the jungler. Very good team fighter. So far, I'd say Yote's composition is pretty heavily focused on team fighting in general.
That's just you, the overlay.
Thank you, I saw. And the ADC of choice for Tarleton is going to be Misfortune. So Mascara. I believe this might be the second or third time we've seen him pull this one out this year. It's kind of just one of those consistent picks. It's always going to provide pretty good value. If you can line up one of those ultimates, guaranteed tons of damage, and you also have a bit of slow in your kit as well. So the final bans for both teams. Let's see what we'll end up working with here. So we get a Silas ban out of Tarleton. Malphite will be taken out of the champion pool, Mr. Gold. And final ban, it's looking like a Morgana ban. Or perhaps Seraphine. Yes, they'll change it last second. Seraphine Morgana, 2 AP champions. With a lot of CC. Morgana, I think notably in the current meta, is being played a lot. He's getting picked in more roles than you'd expect. See Morgana's mid, jungle, and support. It's a very flexible champion in general. But in the end, Tarleton elect to go the Seraphine route for the ban. Final ban for the Yotes will be Rakan. It's one of those champions removed from the pool of Val the Grand. Let's see how our draft concludes. Val's going to go ahead and lock in one of those strong enchanters. It's going to be the Nami. I'd say Val typically favors these enchanters a lot of the times rather than the engaged support if it's not going to be Rakan. I'd say most of the time. But he's able to play a lot of the champions as well. Ooh, very interesting. We're going to get a Renekton pick, likely out of the Yotes. Pretty frustrating matchup, I'd say, for a lot of melee top laners. Renekton's often used as a counter pick, but he's still got very good team fighting capabilities as well with that ultimate. And he engage with his E. And finally, the Yotes will match the support pick. Looks like they're interested in going the Bard route. A lot of mobility, damage, slowing. Bard's just one of those amazing utility characters. If put in the right hands, can be very difficult to kind of deal with here. Oh, so interesting. It seems Mundo is more of a flex pick. I was convinced that it was picked early for Big China in the jungle, but in reality, it seems to be that was Mr. Gold's champion all along. And Big China is going ahead and go with the Rammus for this draft. But yeah, that'll do it. As you can see, the champion's been locked in. We're going to be heading into game 1 here in just a moment. Let me go ahead and swap screens for us if we can. You guys don't have to see my YouTube video that I was watching from earlier. That's not what we're gonna be streaming today. It looks like enemy team's having a PC issue with one of their players, so we'll likely get started once that is resolved here in just a moment. Now's a good opportunity for me to change my overlay here because we are not playing George Fox this week. We are playing the Yotes. So let me go ahead and fix that. Should be good now. All right, looks like we're just about set and ready to go as we hop into game number 1. Final game of the NECC regular season for the Texans. They look to secure a playoff spot with a potential win here this week against a pretty solid Yotes blue team. I believe we'll be joined by little PowPow once we start heading into the lobbies here in just a moment. From my co-caster. There we go. There he is. Little PowPow has arrived. Say hello.
Hello, hello, hello. What is going on?
Perfect. All right. This is the last week of the regular season in NECC, as I already stated on stream. Texans still fighting for a potential playoff spot, playing a pretty solid Yotes team this week. Let's hear our thoughts on the draft, just overall.
Yeah, so we've seen a similar comp from Tarleton in the previous week with the Ramis pick. Big China was able to excel a lot on it, getting his team a lot of picks and setting up a lot of plays. So I feel like that's going to be another important thing for Tarleton here, especially going into enemy team like Oriana, Smolder, and Wukong. If you can just taunt one of those main carries, you can really just lock him down, especially when you have so much follow-up CC like Victor W, Nami, knockups, and of course Misfortune ult. So it's really gonna be how Tarleton plays these team fights and how they're able to approach them.
I'm curious, I wonder if the Dr. Mundo pick was intended to go top lane all along, or was that being flexed early on in the draft, depending on what we saw from the enemy top lane? Because we had a lot of top lane bans that we used ourselves, like the Kled, I'm trying to remember Gwen. I think there's one more as well that we took off the board.
Yeah, so Mundo, we've normally seen it on Big China in the jungle the previous weeks. Like you're saying, however, as everyone knows, Mundo can always go top lane, big flex. So just kind of putting it up there to give the best lane possible. And Mundo into Renekton isn't the worst matchup since his passive will normally block the Renekton W, so help prevent that one-shot combo Renekton can do.
Yeah, Renekton's often a very frustrating matchup for a lot of melee top laners. So Mundo having kind of that, let's say, get out of jail free card with the Mundo passive.
He got that pseudo range, yeah, with his Q, able to spam that as well.
Q definitely neutralizes the lane just a little bit. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. Of course, we have the usual spectator delay, and then we have to cross our fingers and hope the league client lets me into the game.
Yeah, so I don't know if you went too much into detail about standings, did you? Or not really?
I did not.
Yeah, so like you were kind of talking about earlier, very important game from Tarleton here today. Currently, Yotes is 3rd place in the division. It is top 4 moves on. However, with 3rd, 4th, and 5th place all being very close, if Tarleton wins this game and the 4th place opponents lose their game tonight, which is it's more favored for the enemy team in that matchup because they're going against the 1st place team, you know. But if that ends up happening, Tarleton will actually shoot up to 3rd place. So this is a pretty big match tonight as they are fighting for 3rd or 4th place, either way guaranteeing a playoff spot. However, if they do ultimately lose, then they will not continue on to playoffs. So this could be potentially the last game, or it could also be just what Tarleton needs to give them the right spot for playoffs.
Love that. So you know the stakes now, audience. We're going to enjoy this one. That's for certain. So our guys will be giving everything they got, as I'm sure enemy team will also be wanting to do the same.
Yeah, and I gotta do a little bit of scouting on both teams here. On Yote's side, they definitely tend to play towards their top side, as Renekton is their best player. He is Masters, so they definitely are probably going to try to look to play towards his side, and that's why they also kind of give their bot lane a more safer approach. You know, Bjorddd, he loves to roam, loves to help out his team, set up plays, while Smolder can just try to sit back and farm. However, Tarleton, they do have that big damage bot lane with the Misfortune Nami. Just one combo can really take you out, so you have to really respect it. So it'll be interesting to see how all these lanes play out. I mean, some weeks we've seen absolute chaos in these first 5 minutes. Other weeks we've seen a snooze fest where everyone's just farming. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in this game tonight.
Yeah, it really depends, and makes you wonder how many risks both teams are going to be willing to take, considering the stakes. That's going to be the question, I think, as we go into the beginning of this game. But nevertheless, we're about to get ready to go here. We have 30 more seconds left on spectator delay. And I can't wait. It's going to be a blast.
Hopefully no tech pauses at the very beginning. Hopefully we'll get in
man.
nice and clean.
It always fools with me too, because sometimes it's a leak line issue, and other times it's a
Just
tech
them
pause
pausing,
from
yeah.
either team, and I think it's a leak line issue, and it makes me freak out. But
Right.
hopefully, yeah, we just get a clean start. That would be ideal, especially considering the 9 p.m. start time. But here we go. Without further delay, let's head into game.
And of course, throughout the whole season, as you're all aware, this is fearless. All these champions will be removed in Game 2. Just to give some further insight, the enemy mid laner on Yote's side, they like to heavily play Victor, so Gimmick is almost stealing that from him. However, we have seen Gimmick play it as well, so
I was gonna
I do
mention
believe he
too
is
that
confident with the pick.
Orianna is also one of those picks in Gimmick's champion.
Yeah.
So kind of trade off there, I guess, in that sense. But would you look at that? We are in game with no problems. That is awesome. So here we go.
Welcome to Summoner's
And one last thing about the comps I just want to say is Carlton's going to have to be really wary of this Wukong Orianna, since he can go invisible and set up some really good ultimates. But as I say that, it looks like they're kind of going for an early invade here.
He's going to spot it, though. He'll just do his best to run for the hills. Hopefully preserve that flash. It looks like he will be just fine. Vision is going to be established by the Yote, however. See how much Tarleton want to play around this. Doesn't seem like they're too interested. Rather just sit in the turret. Eventually, they
Smolder
get
able
back
to
on.
get a sneaky stack there.
See you get pinged, yeah.
Yeah, first invade we actually seen all season, by the way. Very interesting to finally see it play out.
Oh, the vision allowing Mascara to chip away at the bar. Weeb Cactus taking a bit of early damage.
That Nami heal just making it so they actually take 0 damage on Tarleton's end there too. Very good trade for them.
Smolder being the champion that he is, I'd imagine if you're in Tarleton's position, you want to establish a lead early in this lane, so the aggressiveness doesn't really surprise me.
And we can also see the Rammus pathing down. Of course, Yotes is aware of this as well, and you can see Wukong's pathing down. So this first scuttle on bot side might be contested. However, last time Tarleton did pick the Rammus, they were able to secure the scuttle grab multiple times on the bot side, so we'll just see if they're able to do that again or not. Yeah, top lane here, expecting a snooze matchup. Mundo will probably just be queuing the whole time. But man, Yote's bot lane is already taken down pretty low, with Tarleton shoving under their tower and already hitting these tower plates.
Oh, sorry.
They're able to get some...
Earning a bit of a CS gap, I'd say, too.
Oh yeah, Smolder is struggling to farm under the tower, especially with this constant barrage of attacks from Tarleton's side.
Oh, yeah.
Probably going to force them to back here soon.
Or maybe request help from the jungler. He's definitely not making it easy to consistent pressure. Now they're going to trade a tower shot for an extra auto attack. That couldn't hurt. Bard's going to opt to reset and gain his HP back while Smolder looks to stay and earn some of the XP. Probably going to be the best play there for them too.
Looks like Bard will make it back in time for his jungler, so if they do want to try to set up a gank, they might be able to. Ooh, looks like Landon's, or Gimmick Mimic in the mid lane. It's also setting up some lane presence. He's able to chunk down the Orianna to a quarter HP.
Wukong, he is making his way in this direction. Tarleton not having the vision they need as of yet, and Mascara, he might be the target. Wukong is wrapping around them as we speak. Ignite's going to be applied. Mascara is going to be forced to use both the summoners, and he will escape with his life.
However, this does allow Big China to go ahead and pick up that Scuttle crab for free. Wukong could have fought it, but since he went for the gank instead, China's able to get it, and he might be able to rotate around for this top side, or it looks like he might stay bot and repeat gank. Those Nami's heals, Mascara's able to stay in lane.
He's gonna have to be wary now because Smolder's still having both of his summoners available. It's going to be tough for him to try and outplay this one. Val the Grand's gonna be chipped of all of his HP as well. It's gonna be a difficult one to do for sure. Orianna has gone ahead and TP back to lane. With Gimmick's mana bar drained, he will likely go ahead and do the same.
So far, a lot of fighting going on, but no kills just yet. Everyone's slowly using their summoners, but looking like Yotes is trying to put some pressure on Tarleton's bot lane. However, they're able to respond nicely and chunk down the Bard.
Oh wow, and Bard's gonna flash an electrocute proc is enough to take down Val the Grand. That's first blood going in favor of the Yotes. That was a nice play.
Yeah, that burst damage. No one expects it from Bard, but man, he sure does pack a punch.
Yeah, as expected, pretty much a snooze fest top lane. Almost looking at close to even CS. Mr. Gold being down just a bit. Not much to write home about.
Yeah, in these early levels, Mundo's Q cooldown is just pretty long, so he's only ever willing to CS whenever he has it up. So he sometimes occasionally misses a minion or two per wave.
Seems Bard's already going on a bit of a trip towards the mid lane, the river. Gimmick, he might be the target. Orianna ult doesn't connect. Gimmick with a well-timed flash.
Orianna able to get that early level lead though. I guess maybe just because she shoved in. She is down a little CS, but Gimmick now getting level 6 of his own. Orianna without ult will make it a little bit harder for her to pressure.
Oh,
unlucky cannon miss.
He's really doing his best to stay out of the E range for Necton. This one will lose his pass for no reason. Val the Grand's taking quite a bit of heat, but he will not get dropped. Gets to keep his life for now.
Both the junglers on this bot side play. Yotes is playing a little bit more dangerous behind the tower. However, it looks like it might just pay out for them. However, Big China's flashes away. Smolder uses his own flash. However, it's not going to do anything. Misfortune's still hitting hard. In the end, I think Tarleton almost won that trade with damage since Big China can just reset here.
Yeah, not too bad. Now Gimmick's actually going to roam his way down the river, but don't think he's going to commit. Well, he is looking to commit to this one, but I believe the Yotes were
Don't think they know about Wukong still.
Harlem's gonna get the eliminate on the Val the Grand. Barry's gonna be forced out from Smolder. Let's see if there it is. Mascara picking up a double.
Gimmick can finish off this kill here. Oh, one hit. Can he do it? And he gets it.
And that will secure the feats. An excellent start for Tarleton's bot lane. You'll definitely sacrifice the support for 2 kills on your ADC any day. And the roam from Gimmick pays off. He's able to clean up the Wukong. Oh, Mr. Gold, he's in danger. He's going to go ahead and pop his ultimate. Let's see if he's going to turn this fight. Or at least force out the Renekton ult. There it comes. He might be in trouble now if he has that stun up. Looks like he's good. So they'll go ultimate for ultimate.
Still does have his TP, hasn't taken a single reset yet. Both top laners haven't. So it looks like they're all still just waiting to farm it out.
Ooh,
Renekton taking a lot of tower damage. No fight breaking out here in the bot lane. Looks like it's just going to be some trades going down. Bard did it go ahead and get the refillable potion just to try and give him a little extra sustain in lane. However, with how it's currently going, it just seems like they can't really 2v2 Misfortune Nami at all.
Wukong has gone ahead and secured those 3 grubs. The dragon being up,
That's
that's going to be the target for Tarleton. In the meantime, they have Gonna chase his Bard. Stun connects, and there's the ultimate from Mascara to secure the kill. And that should be a Dragon secure as well.
During that encounter bot lane, Orianna was forced to flash away from Big China and Gimmick the Mimic as they were pressuring her down. It looks like this is a perfect drag setup. Looks like they'll be able to trade the Grubs for Dragon. Always a worthwhile trade. We'll say Misfortune items are pretty scary already. Getting that BF sword and pickaxe with a longsword has plenty of AD. This is exactly why Yote's bot lane is just not able to win these trades. Even though they hit her with the electrocute in a few attacks, just a single auto Q from Misfortune is enough just to chunk him to half HP.
Window is going to lose his passive there, but not a bad trade at all for Mr. Gold. I think Mundo W as a spell in general is kind of underrated because you can kind of tank a lot more damage. Better trades is expecting. Oh my goodness. Renekton going for the all-in attempt, but Mr. Gold has his ultimate up. So not going to be seeing any of that there, but we could get a attempted tower dive from the Wukong.
Yeah, very true. Wukong's finishing off those Krugs, and then you'll probably look. He will have his ultimate. Big China does have flash. It looks like Val's going to go and use his ultimate. And you have Rammus down in the bot lane, able to get the taunt off. And with the Victor Roam as well, getting Mascara another kill.
Yeah, Mascara is now on a rampage. He gets his 4th kill of the game. So the play does work out for Tarleton in the end. And here comes the dive attempt on the Mr. Gold. He has no ultimate available. I don't think he can survive the burst. Yeah, Wukong comes out unscathed. So Renekton is going to push his lead further as he's up 30 CS. He's going to grab a few plates as well.
Mr. Gold here just trying to play weak side. Although he's down 30 CS, it's all right because Tarleton's bot lane is up 30 CS as well as 4 kills. Especially with all this on Misfortune. Just going to hyper accelerate this gameplay. He's already able to get his first item of the game here, the Bloodthirster. So far, Tarleton has been playing very well with their bot side here with plenty of roams from Gimmick, as well as these ganks from Big China.
Yeah, it seems like both teams are really just trying to play to their win conditions, you could say. And the way they see it, you mentioned in the pre-game that you're likely be seeing Wukong kind of favoring the top side a little more. And for Tarleton, clearly the bot side has been where it's at. Smolder ultimate's gonna be invested. Kind of chunks Val the Grand a bit, but seems like he's gonna stick around. I'll actually opt for the reset.
Misfortune getting this Bloodthirster early on is going to be pretty strong, though, as Smolder, he typically likes to poke a lot. However, having that lifesteal will be able to help Misfortune sustain and not have to really worry about resetting often into this lane. We'll say so far the junglers are pretty close in CS. Big China is able to keep his number up, already getting his first item. Looks like the Nami ult's going to come out and actually force a Smolder's flash there, which means he won't have it for the next dragon, which could be the next fight these teams are looking for.
Honestly, Mr. Gold has done a nice job poking down the Renekton here. Those keys start to build up and hurt if you land enough of them.
Yeah, before that last dive, we were able to see Mr. Gold actually winning some of these trades and be able to see that Mundo counteracting the Renekton. However, just that CC chain they're able to put him under that tower was just enough to kill him.
He actually did go ahead and opt for a reset despite the position of the wave. So he's going to lose a bit more CS and XP, but trades it for an item lead when he makes his way back. See if that ends up helping him here.
Plating will fall soon.
And a lot of members here in this game already getting their first items done. As I say that, Orianna whiffs the ultimate, allowing Gimmick to walk up on her with his own ultimate. Wukong is here ganking, however, Gimmick was able to see it in time. He's running away. Big China might be connecting here soon. He does have an ultimate to reach him. Looks like he's going to save it for now. We see Mascara and Val putting on a lot of pressure here in the bot lane. Mascara is just dodging all these skill shots, keeping him full HP. However, he's running low on mana. He's gonna opt for the reset to get his mana back up. We see a trade happen here top lane. Oak is just getting deadly now. Every time Mascara backs, he's just getting stronger and stronger. If Yote ever reset here on the bot lane, it's just going to allow Misfortune and Nami to get a lot of these tower plates. Or actually, the tower plates have fallen. However, at this point, Misfortune should just be able to thread tower. However, it looks like they're going to opt for the dragon play, as they know the bot lane just reset, so they do have time. Oh, Mr. Gold barely escapes there in the top lane, getting really close, but that W, like you're talking about, such an underrated spell, just heals him up.
Yeah, that's going to be second Drake secured for Tarleton as well. Very nice in terms of the objectives.
I will say, dragons were always something Tarleton struggled with this year a lot. However, this game, able to pull off 2 clean dragons so far. Looks like Renekton's going to go for this tower in the meantime. Oh, he gets the heal off, but it's not enough. First tower falls, and so does Mr. Gold.
Yeah, another nice dive there, knowing that Mr. Gold is without his ultimate. Wukong immediately going towards the top, investing the flash and securing that first tower. Pretty solid start for the Renekton, as he has already gotten his second item.
Since Wukong has gotten the grubs and is now getting Herald, it's going to put both teams on 2 objectives, meaning this last feat of warfare is going to be up to this next objective, most likely at the next dragon spawn. Definitely going to be a fight both teams are going to be looking for. After Smolder stopped Mascara's back a couple times, looks like he's just trying to get some payback and run down Smolder. Bell's getting pressured here. He's going to use the ult just to give him some space. Rammus is here on the top side, so we might see a gank happen here. Looks like they're going to choose to back out. Gimmick's going to go and reset mid lane. This Mascara heads down bot lane. Looks like he's going to build into an Essence Reaver. Make it so he doesn't have to worry about mana or his HP. Always a very strong Misfortune build.
Val's gonna make his way back to try and group with them, and lane sort of continues. Got to be aware of this Orianna potentially roaming, but it looks like he stepped down the river and thought better of it. He's gonna go back. It's a mid lane. Ooh, ultimate's gonna be invested for Mascara. Nice dodge from the Bard.
Looks like Smolder's flash will be coming up here soon. Very important for him, just allowing him to live longer. However, Rammus is here bot lane, so is Wukong. Looks like a fight's gonna break out. We have a TP coming in from the Renekton, so Tarleton really has to be wary here. Orianna also roams down, flash ulting, however, it only hits the Rammus, allowing Misfortune to run down. However, it looks like Mascara stepped up a little too far. Going back and forth, Renekton's now taking tower. With him, he's just able to run down and mow down Tarleton here, taking 3 of them. Gimmick's trying to pick up a kill on Wukong.
For a moment, I really thought that Tarleton had a chance to turn that one. But unfortunately, it didn't go their way, as Mascara wasn't able to stay up for long enough, and the damage from Smolder ultimate and the Renekton Q is enough to take him out. Mr. Gold did have a teleport of his own available. I wonder if there's ever a world where he tries to match that, and he does catch Smolder. That is a shutdown going in favor of Mundo.
Smolder's drunk driving the Herald there, misses the tower, and accidentally gives himself right into the hands of Gimmick and Mr. Gold. And he uses his flash as well. Yeah, like you're talking about that play bot lane. At first, it was just a lot going on. Looks like it could have gone either way. However, I think Mascara just overstepped just a little and allowed Yotes to get the footing they wanted and help them finish off that dive. with a lot of summoners used. It's going to be interesting to see how this dragon plays out, as Wukong, Orianna, and Smolder will not have flash. Wukong might get it up in time. See a big trade happening here topside.
Mr. Gold definitely in danger. Going to be forced to invest his ultimate, but if this W comes up again, I'm afraid he might get caught. Yeah, I don't think he can escape. Next is going to be on a rampage now.
Smolder has passed the 125 stack mark, as he is now able to have that little bounce after his Q. Definitely going to help him start ramping up those stacks. It's like Yotes is making good usage of their grubs here, as they're able to push a lot of these towers. Barrett can almost be able to take tier 2 probably on this wave. It's like a fight might break out here in the mid lane. All 4 members on each side are hovering. The dragon has spawned. Looks like Wukong just went ahead and started it right away. Tarleton is trying to make their entry here. I don't know if they know that they've already started it though. So Wukong might just be able to finish it in time. Okay, looks like they do see him.
Pressure here in top lane, as he was able to get that tier 2 in the meantime. The Gold is going to continue to trade with him a little bit. Gimmick's going to try to all in the Smolder. Let's see if he's able to escape. One more ability should do it, and yeah, Gimmick secures the kill. That's really nice for him, but unfortunately gets traded out by the Orianna ultimate. Oh, the flash from Renekton connects, taking out Mr. Gold once again. But Mascara also getting a shutdown, but Tarleton, they have to respond. This Renekton has gone on an absolute tear in the top lane, removing their tier 3.
It didn't pick up on the camera, however, Wukong was able to get the dragon, allowing them to get the feats of warfare, as well as getting their first dragon on the board. This Ocean Soul is going to be great for both teams, as both of them do have their fair share of tanks. So having that healing and mana from the Ocean Soul is definitely going to be wanted from both sides. Tarleton does pick up their first tower of the game though, taking the mid lane tower. They do have bounties as well, giving a lot of gold to their misfortune.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Otacon has spawned, so this is going to be a very big fight. You see in a lot of games it can almost make or break teams here. It can either go poorly and it can be completely flipped, or it can go exactly your way. So it looks like Yotes is almost going to send their Renekton bot lane just to have that pressure.
Let's see what the response looks like from Tarleton. It seems like they want to group and potentially find the pick. The Yotes not looking to allow that one, as their bot lane will hover around that spot as well. Almost looks like they're trying to set up a trap. Just baiting the Smolder, it seems.
Yeah, I think they want to use the Bard ultimate to anyone that walks up, and Victor has no flash. It's like Renekton's going to go straight in. I don't know if the Mascara is not there, so they don't really have any damage, so Tarleton's just going to be forced to back. The Bard ult does connect onto Rammus. He is able to ult to get out of there. Renekton's going very deep here. Orianna gets a 3-man
Mascara
ultimate.
to arrive. There's the ultimates doing massive amounts of damage. And Mr. Gold, he's going to look to chase. Airy gets shut down by Mascara. Renekton also on the run. Gimmick is doing a good job of spacing him. But can he secure this shutdown? It's going to go to Mr. Gold. 2 picks in favor of Tarleton. So the Yotes are getting punished for going too deep. And now Wukong with no W, he has no way of getting out either. It's a double kill for Mr. Gold.
Amazing teamfight from Tarleton there, able to buy enough time for Mascara to come in and save the day. We were able to see that massive amounts of damage his ult brought there, just sending Yotes on full retreat, where Tarleton's able to hunt them down, securing 3 kills and the Otacon. Like we're talking about, that gold lead, it was about, like, I think 5k on the side of Yotes. However, Tarleton's able to diminish that down just to 1.3k, or I guess still like 2k, but they are able to secure the Otacon as well, which has immense value.
Yotes must have felt like they had the drop on them, or like at least a sure kill onto Gimmick, but since he doesn't go down, and Renekton going so deep, ultimately that team fight going in favor of Tarleton. And that has completely turned the game on its head.
I gotta say, a lot of good ultimate uses from Tarleton's side. Like Big China knowing to use his ult right after the Bard ult expired just so he's able to get out without being CC and held back. Tarleton just able to stay alive is exactly what they needed to just have the numbers for when Mascara arrived. So far, they're playing very disciplined and respectful. However, with all their tower, a lot of towers still up on Yote's side, I think that's where a lot of that gold difference is coming from, as Yotes have taken all the top towers as well as the bot tier 1. But Mascara is now building towards his Affinity Edge. We already see the damage he's able to do last fight, so as soon as he's able to finish that item, it's just going to be amplified even more. It's like Yotes really want this Scuttle Crab, going and committing 4 of their members to try and take it out. Knowing Renekton's
really
bot lane.
Play the side lane. Gimmick is going to be the one to match him, considering he has the range to stay out of Renekton's E.
You have to be really careful though. If this Renekton does decide to roam, these Bard ultimates can really set him up for a great play. However, Tarleton so far has been able to avoid the combo from Yotes pretty well. However, one bad team fight can still go pretty poorly for them. Looks like both teams are just kind of playing a little safe, probably until this next dragon spawn, as it just came up. Tarleton is a little behind, so I don't know if they'll be able to make it in time.
Yeah, and the Yotes aren't going to waste any time. They're going to go ahead and start the dragon. Tarleton looked interested in potentially trading it for the Baron, but I think they're a little too late. The Yotes are definitely aware of their plan. They're going to move to mid immediately to try and cancel that one. And it looks like Tarleton will concede the Drake and go ahead and just reset into their respective lanes. This time Gimmick's actually doing some pretty good damage onto the Renekton, chucking him down pretty far. Nami ultimate's going to be invested. Mascara, he's in the front of the action. We'll see if they're able to focus down this Orianna. And not quite. Big China's going to continue to chase. Just goes ahead and invests the flash. But with no ultimate, I don't think he has any way of getting out of here. Gimmick's going to do what he can to help him, but ultimately might get dropped as well. Now he's going to have to look to run. Invests the flash, and goes down the Smolder.
Yote's able to get the pick on a Mascara. With him being all their damage, this makes Tarleton not be able to really do much about it. Like Mr. Gold is trying to run from his life, or run for his life as well on the top side here. So Renekton's just extremely scary still. We'll say I think Tarleton gave up that last dragon just because Misfortune had Infinity Edge in base. So definitely just wanted to wait to have that before they fought more. However, in the meantime, with Tarleton losing some members, Yotes is going to go and start the Baron. Tarleton's aware of this. They might be able to make it in time, and this Misfortune ultimate can, if she's over the wall, can be in a really good position just to take him out. Mr. Gold just going in, buying some time, looking at the Renekton. Mascara set up, waiting for the Misfortune ult. Mr. Gold's just taking all this damage. They get the pick onto Wukong here. As Mascara's on the bot side, he gets Bard ulted. However, not enough damage to kill him, but Renekton's able to take out Val the Grand. Looks like they're all getting so low on both sides. Could go either way. Oh, Gimmick able to come around from the side, picking up one. Renekton can always dash over this wall, though. Have to be extremely careful.
Oh yeah, he's definitely been able to close the gap, and that's going to be more than enough to take out Gimmick. It's not the worst case scenario for Tarleton, as they were able to... Oh, hopefully I don't speak too soon. Renekton, oh, he knows his limits perfectly. And the healing, but Big China lands the shutdown. I think he's going to go down for it, unfortunately for him, though. Unless he can speed out. He's gone.
Barely survives the burn.
Unbelievable team fight. I mean, hard to really even break it down. Mascara is somewhat taken out of the fight due to that Bard ultimate buying time. And Renekton clearly knowing just what his limits were. Tanked enough damage to bait in Gimmick. I think that was like 3 for 4 or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, Yotes lost 3 of their members, but Tarleton lost 4. It's a little bit more, or I think, right? Maybe I'm wrong. Well, if y'all are very interested, you can always just rewind. But so far, I think it's still a good trade nonetheless. Able to get them off the Baron, get him out of that position. However, Smolder does have that 225. We're able to see that execute already come into play, securing the Smolder 2 of the kills, I believe, in that fight. He also has LDR, which should be able to help deal with this Mundo and Rammus. Looks like Tarleton's probably just got to put a lot of effort into focusing down that Smolder with the Rammus here. At this point, a lot of items being built on both sides. Gimmick's able to get both of his burn items, as well as he's now trying to build towards Death Cap, I believe. So Victor will soon become a very big damage problem himself. As well as this Nami heals.
Mid lane.
Val's going to use the ult.
Doesn't really connect onto anything. In the meantime, Renekton's going to go ahead and secure himself another 2-2. So he's becoming a big problem in this game. He's got 4 items. Luckily for Mr. Gold, he's been able to close the gap somewhat. And here we go.
Like Tarleton.
They're going to go ahead and try to start the Baron. Renekton being anchored down in top, trusting that they can win this 4 versus 4 without the Renekton in the fight. Then you hit the Baron. There's the go-in from Big China, but unfortunately those ultimates were invested, and I don't know if they've gotten enough damage down. TP is going to come through from Mr. Gold. Our Tarleton looking to finish the Baron. They are. They get it. Mr. Gold might be caught too deep, but he is level 16 Mundo. Let's see if he's able to escape, but he's being slowed by the Bard. They do go 1-for-1 though. Mascara gets the pick onto Orianna. And Baron secured. I'd say overall it is worth it for Tarleton.
Yeah, exactly. We said 1-for-1 in the Baron. Tarleton will definitely like that trade. However, it does look like Yotes might be able to also have a trade of their own, taking their 3rd dragon. Going to put them on soul point here. However, I think Tarleton is just trying to buy enough time for this Misfortune to get this LDR. Once she has that, it should be enough damage to take down this Renekton, and he won't be as big of an issue. We already see Mascara getting the last Whisper, meaning he is getting fairly close. With this Baron buff, they should be able to also get all these, hopefully get some of these tier 1s on the map still, picking up some extra gold for themselves.
Yeah, doing whatever possible.
Gotta say, yeah, so far, very close game. 18-16. Just a couple K gold difference as well. Still anyone's game. Looks like we are kind of hovering towards this top side, looking for this Renekton. Big China's ready for him to come out, instantly popping the ultimate.
And he's somewhat surrounded here. He uses the E to try and escape out of dodge. Stun does connect on the Big China, so it looks like he will get out. It does force the investment of the ultimate.
Wukong does have the GA now, so he's probably looking just to try and go in, even if he dies, just try to get healed off of the fight here.
Man, look at this Renekton ability haste, though. His ultimate's already halfway back up. Oh, good flash from Gimmick to ensure he doesn't get caught.
Misfortune looks like he might try to roam here, as he does have that extra movement speed from his W. Renekton already used the dash. Rammus also followed up, getting the taunt off. Scarab committing the ultimate, chasing down the Renekton. He doesn't have ult up just yet. A couple seconds left. However, Tarleton's able to take down the Crocodile.
He finally gets punished in side lane. Let's see if Tarleton are able to make any kind of play off this. I'd say the good news for them, they don't really lose anything for that play either.
So getting that gold onto the Misfortune. Or I think Victor actually got it, but looks like Mascara might be backing for his LDR here. Yep, he does get it, meaning this next fight, this Misfortune is going to shred through a lot of the members of Yotes here.
I find it interesting
Should
that
allow-
Wukong elected to go with the GA as his 3rd item.
Yeah, I think so far just how the game's going, Wukong has been kind of getting shredded in these fights, since he isn't really as tanky as this Renekton. Looks like they're able to cancel the Wukong's back. He is alone. However, Tarleton doesn't know that, so they are going to respect it. Just back off and continue to farm here. This next dragon is going to be a very big decider here. as it could be Yotes' potential soul or Tarleton's soul point, with a lot of the teams getting these items here. Next time Smolder's on the screen, we're going to have to look at his stacks as well. Must be getting pretty high at 34 minutes in the game.
Okay, the next objective fights are going to determine a lot about how this game is going to continue. So we're getting to the very late game stages. Which I'm curious to see what you think. What team comp outscales which one?
I mean, I think it's just like what we've been seeing so far. It's just really whoever's able to get the team fight they want. We've seen some where Mascara is able to get a really demonic ultimate, which just allows them to easily win the fight. But we also seen Yotes be able to get some picks off their own with this Bjorddd ultimate. So I think it's just going to really be whichever team is able to approach this next dragon and whoever's able to get their combo off.
So it's really just about execution.
Absolutely. We even see Misfortune going to get the serrated Dirk just to get that extra damage, just hoping to burst down any target they can. Like, both teams are trying to secure some vision around this dragon. They do know that vision is going to be a very important factor here.
Bjorddd
ultimate coming out.
Onto Mascara, but I don't think he's going to get caught. Nami ultimate's invested to try and keep Mascara up, and it will do so.
Yotes using 2 of their ultimates here is going to put them on a little bit of downside. However, they did hold on to the Orianna ultimate, which is pretty important as there is a lot of their damage. Wukong's going up, gets hit by the Nami Q, or nothing's going to really come of it. Renekton's going to be the first one of the top laners to make it down here at this fight. However, Mystical does have TP. Big Smolder Q here.
Players from Tarleton. But the dragon being spawned, how do you approach this? I mean, you imagine Tarleton don't want to give up the soul, but it doesn't feel like they have an angle. They're looking for it. Ultimate's going to be invested. Big China went for the steal. Isn't going to be able to find anything for it. Goes down. And this fight's not looking good for Tarleton. Mascara, he's been lost. Mr. Gold is the next target. He's stunned. And eventually taken out. Gimmick, he'll be the last to fall. Tarleton get nothing, and I don't know if they have the firepower to end, but they might be looking for it.
I mean, with the 5 members up and the grubbies, looks like Yotes might be able to secure the victory here. Just the Smolder scaling, able to half or just chunk down Tarleton's team, making everyone about half HP for this team fight, allowing Yotes to pick up their soul, as well as looks like they'll to pick up the victory in game 1.
Yeah, and they were Tarleton. You could see they really weren't willing to try and go for the or give up the soul. Excuse me. But unfortunately, when they went to approach that team fight, combo didn't connect, and they were a bit caught out of position. And so yeah, that is what ultimately turned the game and gave the Yotes the win here in game number 1. As we take a look at the final stats, as you can see here, Renekton leading the way in terms of damage. No one's surprised. About 50k. And the kill leader for Tarleton side will be Mascara, as he sits at a comfortable 8-4, 32k damage. Not bad out of him. But yeah, we're going to cut it to break as we head into game number 2. We'll be right back at the start. Don't go away.
Day breaks and I'm burned by the morning light. I make the same mistake more than twice. Same song, but brand new dance. I wear out my 3rd second chance. You take my breath and I can't get it back. Might be time for me to face the facts. The best me is with you, but I know I got a lot to prove. They think we're too damaged to fix, but we're just working through a little rust. They like to say we're just young, but I know we won't give this up. Some time is the fix, but we're just working through a little rust. They like to say we're just young, but I know we won't give this up. Sometimes I lose my mind, and some days it's hard to find the reason why you stay by my side. You and I break our hearts open in half, just to see if we'll put them back. No matter what they try, I'll stay by your side. It's you and I. It's you and It's you and I.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back. As we go to game number 2 for our League of Legends. The Yotes have the lead currently, sitting at 1-0 in the series. We're going to go ahead and pull up our draft here. As we get set and ready to head in, we're going to get the exact same bans as we saw as in game number 1. It'll be Mel Leona Shin, followed by Jarvan Kled Gwyn for the side of Tarleton. In both teams, they're going to go ahead and match junglers. Early in this draft, we get Mumu locked in for Big China, Xin Zhao for the side of the Yotes. We also get the Ziggs pick. I believe that's going to be in mid lane. We have seen Mascara pull it out once before, but it is one of those picks that Gimmick pulls out every so often, being kind of the strong laner that he is. Because the thing with Ziggs, you're able to get out of dodge of ganks pretty often if you're able to hold your W cooldown. That's kind of the advantage, and he scales very hard into the late game. You have a lot of range and a lot of good poke. It's going to be matched by Syndra for the side of the Yotes. And they also lock in the Kaisa for their bot side. And then finally, we get the Xayah locked in for Mascara. And to no one's surprise, Rakan is going to get banned, which is often paired with the Xayah. And Yotes want nothing to do with it. Morgana, Seraphine also going to be removed. And the final ban for the Yotes is going to be Sion, which is the signature champ of Mr. Gold. Just going to go ahead and ensure that that one doesn't get picked. Oh, looks like Tarleton were a bit late on the pick. It is going to be Blitzcrank. That's interesting. It's not one of those that we've seen from Valdegrande too often. At least I don't think so this semester. With the Rakan being banned, looking to change something up. So they're going to go with the Blitz for this game. Oh. And unfortunately for Mr. Gold, he's going to have to deal with the Rumble lane, which is always going to be a difficult one. And wow, what is this? Okay, I'm trying to decipher what I'm looking at here. The Jin Zhao jungle. We just have some sort of off-meta support pick here. This is really interesting. I don't really know what to think about this. We could see a Syndra support or a Rumble support, perhaps. But the Yotes have clearly cooked something up that I'm not quite aware of. So it's going to be really interesting to see what exactly I'm looking at. Yeah, that's really interesting. Final pick for Tarleton. They're going to go ahead and pick Malphite to round out the composition. You have a lot of those chain CC moments, and if you're able to land all of that, Ziggs can just pretty much drop the nuke and finish off opponents in team fights. So the idea from Tarleton's composition is clear. Now for the Yotes, it is a complete toss-up to what I'm looking at least in terms of a support pick. I'm not totally certain yet. But that'll do it for the draft. We're going to be heading into game 2 here right now. Let me go ahead and pull that up for us. Curious to see what the support pick for the Yote side actually is. Really? Rumble support. For PowPow to join us before I talk about the compositions, but I'm curious to see what the thought process behind the Rumble support pick. I know he definitely brings utility, that's for certain, and he's a good team fighter. I just haven't seen it picked in support before. Maybe I'm missing something. But Yorick always going to be tough to deal with in the top lane. He provides constant pressure. One of those top laners that you really never see grouping too much, unless it's kind of one of those must-win objective scenarios. And welcome back, Mr. PowPow. Really interesting draft, I gotta say. I wasn't too certain what the support pick was gonna be for the side of the Yotes, but they ended up going with the Rumble. What do you think the thought process is here behind this pick?
Oh, I don't know. I'm very curious about it. I know Rumble support was semi-meta for a bit, but that was a while ago. And I don't really see how it pairs with Kai'Sa too well. However, Rumble himself is just very strong with his ultimate alone. If he can land a really solid ultimate, then it could just be what exactly they want from the Rumble in general.
Yeah, I mentioned the team fighting capabilities, and maybe they're looking to reinforce their team fighting, considering Yorick is known to be a side lane champion. He's always going to exist in the side lane, just shoving turrets. So that was my idea, but I can't imagine that it's too good for the laning. I guess we'll find out. Clearly the Yotes have been cooking up something with this one. But for Tarleton's side, I'd say the composition idea is pretty clear. You have the Amumu and Malphite chain CC ultimates. Combo that with the Ziggs, and you have yourself just an instant win button. And obviously Zaya's just in a very good state right now. Always going to be a nice pick. Haven't seen Valkyrie Blitzcrank yet, though, I don't think. Maybe you've seen it one time before.
Yeah, I think you're right. Val hasn't really played too many hook champions this year. Thinking, but Sorry about that. But so far it looks like the only thing I can think of, Yotes is just trying to play for a chain CC combo here with either the Syndra QE or the Zinzao knock up into just burst damage and trying to knock him down. However, Tarleton does have a lot more AoE, a lot easier ways to start fights. So I will say Tarleton's team comp is a little easier to play out and do what you actually want to do. But if Yotes is able to execute their combo that they do want, it can do a lot of damage.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, as you're able to see from last game, very close. They originally, Tarleton able to make a really big lead happen in the bot lane, while Yotes is able to really put all their faith and trust into their top laner, and was able to work out for them as it bought them a long enough time for the smolder to scale. However, this game, Kai'Sa does get outscaled by Xayah here, so if Tarleton's able to pull off kind of the same early game, then it'd probably be very beneficial for them.
Tarleton hoping for a different result, that's for sure, as they're down 1-0 in the series, looking to extend their chance at a potential playoff spot here as we head into game number 2 within the next 15 seconds.
Let's say we got Gimmick on the Ziggs. We have seen it a couple times here. I believe it has panned out pretty well. I mean, Ziggs in general is just able to provide a lot of that long-range poke, and we're able to see the amount of times he roamed down bot lane from last game. And Ziggs is also very good at that, as he's able just to throw his ultimate from half the map and just kind of take out anyone. Could also potentially help cover these dives that Yotes love to do on the top side. They're able to do it, I believe, 2 to 3 times on Mr. Gold here. So you're going to have to see if he's able to play it a little safer or just to respect these dives this game.
Yeah, I got to give credit for the Yotes in last game, playing around the Mundo ultimate cooldown. Like, you would see the top laner go for the all-in attempt and then force the ultimate on Mr. Gold, which would eventually set up the dive. So clearly some coordination happening there to make those plays possible and push the lead in top lane. That's for certain.
We're seeing a similar early game this game as Yotes is going to 5-stack this bush and walk towards the Amumu. They do know Big China was in there last time, so they might just go and throw their spells. But he is aware this time and is instantly able to back out. I don't think Yotes saw him, so they're all kind of still just waiting. But it looks like they will end up backing out. Not the strongest invade comp, but looks like it's what they try to look for in these games.
So very interested to see how the Rumble support pick ends up working. I know you have a bit of poke in his kit.
Yeah, his E can be very annoying, especially level 1, just having the 2 missiles able to do a lot, especially the Summoner Aerie. However, if Charles is able to dodge him, then it will make it useless in the end. I heard he got some early trades coming out in the mid lane. We were able to see Gimmick be able to hold a pretty heavy presence in the mid lane last game. Looks like he's already trying to establish that dominance. Valgon, he does his first hook of the game. It does miss. Looks like Yotes are just going to walk up here. Kai'Sa already using the barrier.
Got lots of level 1 trading. Must be trusting in their damage output between the two of them just early on in this lane. So both barriers are going to be invested.
I feel like they have to play a little aggressive in these early levels, as once Xayah does get level 3, the kill potential on Tarleton's side does increase, as one Blitzcrank hook will instantly mean a bunch of feathers falling back on you as well. So it looks like Yotes are just trying to put that early pressure to try and stop them from having that kill pressure at level 3. I'm not too sure how this Malphite York matchup goes. Do you have any insight on that?
I would say it's a little bit York favored, because if you're Malphite's position, if you ever walk up, you can, of course, you can always poke him with Q, but that's going to drain your mana pool pretty severely, and if you ever go for one of these trades, you run the risk of getting trapped by York W, and that damage just far exceeds your own. So I would say it's definitely York favored, that's for certain.
As we see now, both junglers are where they were last game, just on this bot side, finishing up their last camp. So we're going to see some action either happen at the Scuttle Crab or maybe a potential bot gank since Yotes are underneath the tower here. Looks like Zayda's got the roots.
Including some tower damage onto the enemy Kaisa. It's not a bad trade at all for Mascara. And like you said, if able to connect to any of these Blitzcrank hooks, could be devastating. And there you go. That's going to force the tower damage. Ignite's going to be applied. Could be enough. Let's see if they're able to take them out. Mascara, he's going to go in. That's first blood. Valdegrand's going to chase, provide the knockup. Let's see if he's able to award the kill to Mascara. Flash! Gets it. Double kill for him and a great start for our bot lane.
Gotta say, Valdegrand with that hook not only is able to land it, but it makes Rumble also take a turn shot. So he's able to play that tower range just perfectly and ends up getting Mascara the double kill, which we're talking about in the loading screen. Xayah is just gonna become a very big problem with these kills, as she should be able to shred down Xin Zhao, Yorick, and any member that could even hope to engage on Yote's side.
Gimmick does also survive the mid lane gank. That's one of the benefits of having Ziggs as a champion is you have that Ziggs W in place, so almost like one of those get out of jail free cards.
Almost a free flash.
Yeah, it allows you to save your flash a lot of times if you have it on cooldown or off cooldown. So Mr. Gold, his mana bar was running pretty low, so he was forced to TP back to lane. York's HP is running quite low. I'm honestly surprised. I wonder if Mr. Gold could try to all-in him even inside that massive wave. I mean, seems risky for sure, but I mean, Yorick's mana bar is running pretty low. Maybe just doesn't want to run any risk of getting ganked.
Yeah, exactly my thoughts. I think he's just trying to play safe and because he doesn't really know where the Xin Zhao is. However, in the meantime, Val's chasing down this Kaisa, forcing the flash out of her. Rumble has returned down to the bot lane. Val doesn't really have any abilities. They're going to keep chasing. Mascara gets a big root with his feathers. Going to use barrier to try and get out. A lot of trade happening. Over in the end, looks like Tarleton's bot lane is going to have to reset here soon. We might choose to stay for this wave. Valdegrand
nice hook.
Oh, and he does secure the feats. However, he does fall. Or I think just securing the feats is always worth it.
Kaisa does have the barrier available, so Mascara's gonna have to keep that in mind. But Big China, he's made his way here. He has the flash. Let's see if he chooses to invest it. Oh, but it doesn't even matter. The damage is enough for Mascara to award him the kill. Kaisa maybe not expecting it, not even using the barrier there. And that's what I was talking about. W does catch Mr. Gold, but looks like he'll be okay because the York he did miss. Big China. Oh, trying to save Mascara, not able to do so. Big China's also gonna be forced to flash. It looks like. The hook again does connect. These hooks from Valdegrand have been pretty solid so far. Always getting them within tower range.
Yeah, just a little more on that play. I think Mascara, he didn't know it was warded, so I think he's just trying to use the vision to his advantage and try to juke out the Xin Zhao. However, he's able to get the E on him since he did have a ward in the bush. And then right there, I think if Big China does land the Q on Xin Zhao, it might have been a kill. However, it looks like Tarleton doesn't mind too much, as now Xayah is 3-1. They do have some pressure in the spot lane. Xin Zhao's going to try to do Dragon alone. The Gimmick is aware of this. Looks like he might try to go and stop him here.
Oh, and he's doing
able to put down heavy poke.
There's the W, but he has an ultimate. Oh!
Okay, Gimmick!
Zhao didn't even have to invest the ultimate.
And Val's gonna go for this ult here, or Q.
See, he's holding it till the last second. Gimmick with another kill onto Weed Cactus, and now the Kaisa's in danger. Hook doesn't connect, but let's see if Mascara's the damage. He does. A huge team fight for Tarleton as they go up and kills even further.
Gotta say, Gimmick with these bombas here, able to secure not only the Xin Zhao and the Dragon, but also help get the Kaisa and Rumble. Very good play from Tarleton there.
Unfortunately for Mr. Gold, this is the portion of the game where it's not too much fun to play against Yorick, because that ultimate is now out. And it seems like Bjordd's already been able to take a couple of plates despite not even getting a kill on Mr. Gold, so that has built up his gold income just a bit.
Or it looks like he did go and get the... I don't know what that... The Lost Chapter? Is that what it's called? Or whenever he levels up, he will get some mana back.
This is what I was talking about. The matchup is not very good for Malphite, but by building AP, you allow yourself to just poke at him with Q. And I believe that's what Mr. Gold is going for here. This is interesting. He's been going tank Malphite when we've seen him play it all throughout this year. And here we go. Looks like he's looking to go in. Let's see if he chooses to invest his ultimate. He's taking heavy amounts of damage. Oh, and he went for it, but Bjordd has more than enough to take him down. Big China's gonna invest an ultimate of his own. Valdegrand is here. Between the two of them, I don't know if they have enough damage. Gimmick is on the way, but Big China will fall. And there's no trade for Tarleton as of yet. They're gonna look for something onto the Rumble. Ultimate doesn't connect, but Gimmick, he's stunned up, forced to flash. There is no escape. Halloran with another kill, and these, unfortunately, not going the way of Tarleton.
Big trying to do something on the grubs there. However, like you said, it doesn't go in their favor as they don't have Mascara, which does have majority of their gold right now. Gimmick just not able to make it in time. I think if he was there slightly sooner, it could have been something. Looks like they're trying to get on Val here. However, Big China is able to come back in time, forcing the barrier out of Kai'Sa. Zig's ult comes out, ends up taking out one of them.
Okay, so
looks like it might have been a little bit of overplay
back
on Yote's side here.
And the good news as well is Mascara this entire time has been just hitting plates in bot lane for free. So he's trying to push himself into a position where he can be a force in this game, and Gimmick sitting at 3-1 as well. Curious to see if Mr. Gold does end up committing to this full AP route, if he goes kind of a hybrid build. But yeah, I will say it does definitely help against the Bjordd. He maxes Q, builds AP, this allows him to poke consistently.
Yeah, and since he does have the Amumu, he will have the curse, or the enemy team will have the curse, and so they will take more magic damage. So AP Malphite might be able to get a little extra value out of that, especially since they might just try to use the Amumu as the engage and just have Mr. Gold be the follow-up. But so far, Kai'Sa still hasn't finished an item, while Mascara here is Bjorddd on an item and a half with tier 2 boots. Definitely has the advantage in damage in this bot lane, so we'll probably see Tarleton play aggressive here. However, Kai'Sa's going to take the reset. Does get her Kraken Slayer, putting her on the map. However, she is still down a decent chunk of gold compared to Mascara.
I will say, currently, until Malphite's build gets a little further along, Bjordd's kind of just sustaining all the Qs that Mr. Gold is throwing at him and slowly chipping away at this turret. He might even be able to get the full thing with this Demolish proc. So, I mean, this is just dangerous. Mr. Gold's going to be forced to give it up. I say that, but Bjordd has taken a lot of tower damage, and Mr. Gold's wasting no time. He takes him down.
And he stops the tower from dying as well. I don't know how long that will last, but... Oh, it looks like Gimmick's trying to go in here. Throw the Q. Oh, and it hits! Gimmick gets the solo kill onto the Syndra.
I mean, you're looking at
so far, playing these Qs very well. Yeah, I mean, Tarleton is just doing really good on their skill shots with Valdegrand hitting a lot of these hooks that matter, as well as Gimmick just landing the bombs that matter.
I'd argue it was a little bit of a blunder of the Bjordd. He wasn't expecting to take tower aggro. But he goes back in to look to finish the turret, and Mr. Gold wastes no time in punishing him. So that's huge in the development of this game. The gold income is now sits at about even.
Syndra's going to TP bot just to make sure that they can't take tower, while Mr. Gold will lose top tower here. And just to secure it even further, they're going to send the Kai'Sa top lane. I think Mr. Gold is aware of it. However, I don't think she's really much of a threat on her own. Mr. Gold just out-trades her and backs out.
I'd say it's definitely a risk having the Kai'Sa rotate like this, especially when she's already down to XP. But clearly wanting to play towards what's an obvious win condition advantage in their eyes, which is this Bjordd who continues to just chop away at these towers. I mean, look at this. Clearly, this is why the champion's just wrong side laner, and Jin Zhao has gone in and stolen the Drake. And he's out. Pops the ultimate, flashes, but Gimmick with an ultimate of his own says you're not going to get away with that, Drake, without paying for it. Able to secure the kill. Yorick's in danger. Once again, Mr. Gold dodges that skill shot. Has his ultimate available if he wants to try something. Hook connects from Val the Grand. In the meantime, Mascara, he's got plenty of damage. Takes out Airy. Unbelievable. But with this Kaisa still kind of hovering around the Yorick, I believe they're going to be able to get this turret here in a moment. But Gimmick, he wants none of it. He's here. Pokes away at the Yorick, takes him down. And Big China's also arrived on the scene. I believe he missed a Q there. And he's trying to flash to keep himself alive, but it is a double kill for the Kaisa. A good salvage for the side of the Yotes. And they should be able to get this tier 2 with no issues. I say that, Mr. Gold has arrived. So much is happening.
Yeah, I mean, even early, just want to reel it back a little at the Dragon. I thought Tarleton would have it for free with the Kaisa being top lane. However, the Zizhao was able to steal it across the wall. Since then, we just had a bunch of nonstop fights just kind of going both ways. Gimmick is able to pick up a decent amount of gold. I mean, so far, just looking at the scoreboard, Tarleton has all their gold onto their carries, the Ziggs and Xayah, which is exactly what you want. We're just going to see how they make uses of it, with the Xayah already having Navori now as well. Very huge item on Xayah, as she's able just to get her E reset 2 to almost 3 times into a team fight, which can be extremely important, as it could be a root or just the damage from the feathers alone.
Alphite's going to go ahead and match the Yorick teleport, and again, Yorick just doesn't care. He's going to just chop away at the turret along with Jin Zhao. They're going to be able to take it out probably. W does connect onto Mr. Gold, and they're wasting no time. They're looking for the all-in. Here we go. Mr. Gold's going to be forced to ult, so he will escape, but they do lose that turret. But Tarleton, they're going to try to match and get this Herald, maybe look for a team fight in the river. See what happens. They're going to remove all of that vision. You're going to start the Herald.
Have to be careful here, as this Yorick will be able to do a lot of damage to this tier 2, as we were able to see earlier. I kind of just walks through the Malphite. Looks like right now Big China gets taken down by the Xin Zhao, so they're all on the back foot. However, Mascara is trying to fight on them here, able to do a lot of damage, taking out Xin Zhao. The Herald's just 1 HP, but Kaisa's able to pick it up as the fight continues. Val the Grand gets a hook before he dies, allowing Mascara to pick up more kills.
It is a triple kill for Mascara. That is unbelievable. In the meantime, Yorick has taken the tier 2 in bot lane. Let's see if Mascara is able to find anything else. Gimmick's going to invest the flash, try to cut off this player. Mascara is dominating. He picks up a 4th. But Yorick's continuing to be a menace. Big China's arrived here. See if he's able to do anything about this. He gets it. It's an ace for Tarleton.
Although they lose the Herald, they're actually able to now be ahead in gold, 9 to 18. Tarleton are just winning a lot of these fights now. Ziggs W takes out the tower, allowing Tarleton to secure their 2nd tower of this game. I say, getting the gold onto the right carries is always extremely important. As you see, Mascara now 9-1. Just getting very fed here, almost able to get his Infinity Edge. If you can get that before this next dragon, I think Yotes won't be able to really do anything about it. We're able to see that last fight, Xayah just taking almost 0 damage the entire time, while able to just kill almost every member on Yote's side. They're definitely gonna have to start respecting her, or try to figure out how they can take out Mascara here.
And Mascara, already with those 2 items, as well as a BF sword and pickaxe, doing massive amounts of damage. Definitely gonna have to be the focus point if you're in the shoes of the Yotes. The good news about Xayah for Mascara is he has that ultimate. Pretty much make himself invulnerable when he needs to be. There's
Another hook connecting from Val.
Val. Aries in trouble. He'll go down. Unfortunately, Mascara does fall. I don't know if his ultimate was off cooldown yet or not, but the damage from Rumble is enough to get him. So Shutdown does go to their support, though.
That is one thing. The Rumble ult, we're able to see that value this Rumble support has is just all in this ultimate. Able to take out Mascara. However, he does keep all of his summoners up for this next dragon. Looks like the whole team of Tarleton is just going to rotate up to this Yorick. Should be able to be a free kill here.
Yorick should not be able to escape. Let's see who they choose to leave the kill on. Looks like they're going to try to give it to Gimmick or Mr. Gold, and Gimmick is going to be the one to pick it up. But again, Yorick does take out that turret on the Tarleton side. The only turrets that remain are the ones in mid lane. They're also going to get the Drake for it as well. So you can look at the scoreline and be like, this Yorick is 1-4, but he is finding tremendous value across the map and giving a lot of space for his team.
Yeah, I mean, with Tarleton losing Mascara there, I think they just don't even want to try and fight Dragon, so just picking up that kill, I think, is worth it in the end, just kind of trying to do something on the map. And now with Gimmick in the top lane uncontested, Ziggs will just destroy these towers, so we might be able to see a tier 1 fall here. York will use the TP. Blitzcrank hits another hook onto the support, taking him out. Tarleton will now be able to have some pressure in this mid lane. Looks like they are going to go ahead and walk up. Looks like they also might try to rotate up for this Yorick, trying to get another free kill onto him.
Yeah, and typically when you watch Val the Grand play a hook champion, you imagine it'd be Thresh, and look at this, another hook lands. Gonna force the immediate investment of the ultimate from Jin Zhao. Another ultimate's gonna be applied from Big China.
Ooh,
Double
Mr.
knocker
Gold
from
hitting
Mr.
double.
Gold. Gets the kill onto Airy. Big China does fall, but I believe they might be able to trade this one out. Another hook lands. Mr. Gold doing massive work as that AP Malphite. And Gimmick, he's 1v1ing the Yorick, and he's gonna lose it. But in the end, I believe it is 2 for 2. Unbelievable
Gotta
stuff
say,
out of Val the Grand.
Val the Grand is locked in this game, hitting all these Blitzcrank hooks, allowing to provide the peel and also engage Tarleton needs. Ooh, Mascara with the flash E takes out the Xin Zhao.
Showing off the mechanics. Val the Grand won't be able to escape, but he'll definitely take that trade for his support. Unbelievable stuff.
And Mascara definitely has Infinity Edge in base now after getting all those kills. So this next fight, he should be able to just do even more damage. I think both teams are definitely looking towards this Otacon here.
It's kind of what I was anticipating. We're getting a hybrid-ish build from Mr. Gold. As you can see, he built Bramble to try to deal with some of the Yorick sustain. And he's kind of, I believe that's, I'm trying to think of what items, but it's probably just Thornmail, if I had to guess. Yeah, he goes Malignance into Thornmail. Yeah, he just finished it there.
All Tarleton here resetting for their items. We're able to see a lot of items come out with, like he said, Malphite finishing that Thornmail, and of course Mascara finally getting that Infinity Edge and an extra cloak, so he should have 90% crit now. Definitely going to be a major threat in this next fight. Right now Mr. Gold is getting chunked down by this Yorick damage. This forces to retreat. Going to be really careful about this Yorick taking this inhibitor tower. Looks like Otacon did get started by Yotes, but they got chunked out. It's like Tarleton's just trying to make a play happen as they are on a timer with Yorick shoving in this bot lane.
Mascara is going to be the target, forced to immediately invest his ultimate, but he has a lot of damage. In the meantime, Gimmick, he's going to get saved by Big China, the ultimate, enough to keep him alive. Yorick is continuing to put pressure on the base, might even remove the inhibitor. In the meantime, Gimmick's going to reset. Big China is going to get caught by Weed Cactus. Mascara is still kind of just running around the map, doing what he can, trying to kite this one out. Val the Grand staying alive. And there's the turn and the hook. Unbelievable. I believe he is going to get caught now. Let's see if Mascara can outplay this one. It looks like he's able to pick up a second one onto the Syndra, but eventually will go down. Good stuff from Tarleton. I'd say the only downside is the Yorick does end up removing that inhibitor.
Yeah, I feel like at this point in the game, they almost have to try and match Gimmick against the Yorick just to slow down this push, since he should be able to kill the wave. Mr. Gold can't really do anything besides just kind of slightly chunk him. However, I think Tarleton just really wants to have Gimmick in these fights, as you're able to see the damage he's able to bring. Barely living on 1 HP there with the CC combo coming in from Big China. But right now, I mean, it's a little bit of a split fight there, so it's a little rough for Tarleton. Especially because Xayah, you kind of want to try and get everyone grouped up into one spot. But the Otacon still is up. York now topside, putting that pressure. Tarleton is definitely going to either look to fight it or give, as they are sending Xayah bot lane right now. They might just potentially try to trade the Otacon for Drake. Just have to see what they decide to do here. As you do see Gimmick going against the York now. Like what you're talking about earlier, although he is 2 and 4, this York has crazy split push potential. Looks like Yotes is just gonna take a pause on the Otacon and set up for this next dragon.
It's kind of what you're expecting. Gimmick is just matching the pressure from the York in side lane. He's able to remove the wave. In the meantime, it's gonna put the Yotes on sole point as they are able to quickly burst the Drake. Tarleton are just going to continue to farm this one out. Can't imagine they're going to look to turn, but Mr. Gold's in a bit of trouble, taking some poke. Hook connects from Bjorddd once again. And he's going to catch a weak cactus. Big China is investing his own ultimate, but I don't think Tarleton can look for anything else. Mascara or Gimmick, their 2 main sources of damage aren't here. But a nice catch once again.
Oh, Mascara is here now as Val hits another hook going in. However, he does fall. It's like Zaya's walking up a little bit. However, Tarleton not able to really achieve much from this fight. Mascara is now in trouble, and he does fall.
And Big China.
It's like Big China will join him as well.
Triple kill for Jin Zhao. And with this York alive, it's going to be Gimmick to have to do so much work. So you're looking at a 10-second death timer in Val the Grand and 30 seconds for everyone else. It looks like Gimmick is going to be able to poke out this ultimate. Yeah, he'll go ahead and grab it. That's nice. But they're losing all their turrets now. And only the base is left standing.
Yotes is able to extend their gold lead to a 4K gap. However, still is not the worst, as Tarleton can still definitely come back from this and just do one team fight, can always change it. However,
Oh boy.
that is not right now, as right now they're trying to run away from this York. He picks up 2 of them. Looks like they're going to continue to chase. Tarleton's able to trade for 2 for 2 here. Might be worth it. Looks like Rumble will be able to just get out, as Xin Zhao does start the Otacon.
Yeah, this York is causing some major issues. And especially as we get to the very late stages of this game. Big China is getting caught by some of this burst from the Rumble, but Mascara goes ahead and saves him. Takes him down. Let's see if any kind of play on the Otacon gets made. Looks like they're going to go ahead and finish it. Nothing Tarleton can really do. Yeah, if you lose enough members, this York's always going to be a threat in the back of their minds. And wasting no time, they're going to go ahead and begin the Baron. Scare's going to poke around, see if he can deal with this. The rest of his team's arrived, but is it in enough time?
Yotes got chucked down, so they're just going to have to back out. However, York will commit the TP, which is going to force Tarleton to either react to them or allow Yotes to take a free Baron or fight the Baron fight.
It looks like the decision is
Oh, Val does hit the hook on the Kai'Sa. Looks like she might... Oh, she does end up falling as Big China is able to follow up with the Q. This should give Tarleton a window to be able to fight this Baron fight. Mascara dodges the QE, goes in, kills Xin Zhao, flashes in, gets the... Oh, it looks like Zindra might be able to make it out. Oh! However, the Zaya ult is able to catch her at the very tip of it, and now looks like Tarleton will be able to do Baron of their own.
The York is still wreaking havoc in the base, but the combo from Gimmick and Mr. Gold is enough to take him down. And now Big China and Val the Grand, they're going to continue to chase the Rumble. He's going to pop his Zanya's in his ultimate, but it won't be enough to save him. Big China gets the frag. And Tarleton, they have a real opportunity now to turn this game. You're looking at
Even up the gold lead.
Carries.
Let me give you a hug.
However, Yotes is still in a pretty good position as they are on sole point, 1 away. And since they were able to kill Mascara, it does stop the Baron push on Tarleton's side. If this York is able to get around and just keep causing this mayhem, it might be hard for Tarleton, as we do see their base is slowly crumbling apart. However, death timers are getting pretty long as it does approach the 28-minute mark. Any teamfight here can just turn it around or end the game out now. We'll say so far Val has been playing this Blitzcrank very well, hitting a lot of hooks. So if we're able to see another team fight open up with Val getting a pick, definitely be looking good for Tarleton here.
Oh yeah, he's been without a doubt lights out in these games, or in this game so far, setting up Mascara for plenty of kills.
Has to be really careful here as York is in the top lane uncontested. If this continues, it's going to be very bad for Tarleton, as we're able to see Ziggs and Malphite aren't really able to hold him back. Val uses the flash trying to get an engage, doesn't connect, or they are able to kill the Zinzo.
He's zoning off all the rest of the players on the team. Let's see how much work Mascara is able to do in this fight. 2 players go down for Tarleton to start us off, but Mascara, he's still alive and he's still firing, gets 3, but unfortunately gets cleaned up, and now it's going to be on the Gimmick to try and stop this Yorick. He's doing what he can, but he has been trapped by the W. Oh, stay alive, Gimmick, because if you go down, this game will end. He's doing what he can, but the E finds him, and now Tarleton in real danger, this game ending.
This Yorick might just be able to take down this tower. He does have a super minion wave. These Qs are taking it, chunking it down.
Oh.
2 Qs to end it all. He's now hitting the Nexus.
And
Tarleton, no
can do
members
nothing but
up.
Watch. It is devastating as Yorick has solo won the game. Gimmick was not able to stay alive. And despite the efforts of Mascara, he made it to full build. It's not enough. And the game goes to the Yotes. Unbelievable game too, though.
Gotta say, overall, very close series from both sides. Very competitive. Both teams just able to take it out, draw it out. However, Yotes is able to finish out both times, leaving Tarleton 0-2.
And that will also, unfortunately, do it for our season, as I believe we just missed the mark for playoffs, losing this series today. But a great effort from our team going into this very last game of the season. I've enjoyed watching how we've adapted our comps and gotten better as the season's gone on. Just kind of an unfortunate way to close it out. But it's been awesome casting it here, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to see the improvement coming around from the season. I mean, you can definitely tell a difference between the earlier weeks to now. Tarleton were able to really clean up their early game, start taking these dragons, and they were able to play these team fights a lot better. I mean, we're able to see them come together and be able to perform as a team. However, it's just not enough, as they do end up losing tonight. But I got to say, shout out to our Texans. Very well played. A great season overall.
Yeah, that'll pretty much wrap it up for me. Couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been a pleasure casting all season long. It's been Bjorddd, a little PowPow, and we're signing off for the last time here tonight. Thank you guys so much.
GG's.